Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Sound. My name is Matthew, and I have today special guests. With me today, I have Evelyn Holland. Evelyn is an awesome singer-songwriter. She is playing in music with Keys of Solomon. Hello and welcome to the show, Evelyn.
Hi, it's probably about my I don't know, 50th or so panel. It's I've been enjoying it the past couple months.
All right, and look at you, Kyle. You've got your display in the back digital, man. Cool. Yeah. A little bit more contrast maybe next time, but I can almost read. It says Kyle Walls.
Yeah,
how you doing?
Well, all right. Yeah, actually, I used that live. I made that. It has whenever it rotates colors. I don't know.
Cool.
On my screen, it just went through some contrast, but it'll be brighter, and then as it changes, it's easier to read and stuff. But yeah, live, that always gets some attention.
Yeah, excellent, man. Excellent. And so, with my brother and sister here, we're going to have some good reactions today because The Sound Live is the show where we do music reactions and we share songs that we love. And also, you guys get a pick. That's right. Every episode of The Sound, there's a crowd pick that's picked by popular demand. All right. Seeing as how we're just getting started off for the day, we have a double here suggested by Mr. Kyle, and I think that would be a really great way to start off. What do you think, guys?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Kyle, why don't you introduce us to this double feature, starting with the Lady Gaga original and then the epic cover.
Yeah. So, since I've seen this movie, I know I've heard this song. Looking at the title, I am drawing a blank. So when I sent you the cover we're going to look at, I was thinking maybe this would be a good one to, get this original fresh in mind to, have a point of comparison. So have either of you seen this movie?
No.
I haven't, no.
Oh, it's actually good. It's something I thought, like when people described it to me or when I heard the movie described, and I'm so bad with names, I forgot the name of the movie. What is the name of that movie? I know the idea, which I don't want to give up. I'm looking at it right now to see if it's A Star Is Born. Okay, so yeah, that movie, it's actually much better than I thought it would be. I kind of like Lady Gaga. I think she's pretty cool. I remember when she was coming up, Stephanie Germanata or whatever her real name is, and seeing footage of her playing like in Brooklyn and stuff.
She's really good. She's like, she's the real deal. She's not some auto-tune
She's also
faker.
She's also a metalhead, like an avowed metalhead, so I can respect her for that.
Yeah. Well, there's some cool footage of her at Lollapalooza, like, I don't know, 12-ish years ago. And I forget the sort of like punkish band that she jumps on stage with to do a song, and she is just going crazy in the pit. It was really cool because it's like, hey, I could... I could have hung out with her whenever I was 20-something and she was 20-something,
So everybody make sure you mash that like button so we get lots of people in here. You can share out this stream. We got lots of good stuff. Without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, Shallow from A Star Is Born. Official music video. Here we go.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. I'm of the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never leave the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. Oh,
That was cool that we had the live version for that, because
Yeah.
Now I definitely recognize the song now for sure. I've definitely heard that a whole bunch of times, but that live version was just really cool. I don't know. I feel like they did a really good job with that. And man, Lady Gaga's belting is just so
I love
epic.
it. Yeah.
Hey, I know this is the first video I've seen that has over 1 billion views. I mean, besides that great song, I've never heard it before, or maybe I have. I'm not sure. I actually really like that.
Yeah, I felt like the live performance was really good. And one of the things that I want to say, I really have to give it to Bradley Cooper. Now, maybe he had a click in his ear. I don't know. That might make sense. But at that beginning on that intro, with all that space in there, with those rests where the guitar would just fade out, it was so gorgeous. And like, if I was like the one playing that, like, I am guilty of like rushing sometimes, right? And not like maybe like giving like the full amount of time to that rest. And it was so awesome. It needed every millisecond of that. At the beginning, it just set the stage for just this gorgeous build. And, you know, like when Lady Gaga was first singing, you know, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But then she kicked in her belting, and it was just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a feel-good moment. And thinking back, I started to remember what I had, you know, until then forgotten about the movie and the story and things like that. And I think you like it, Matthew, because I shouldn't call it a concept album, but, you know, all the songs do tell a cohesive story together, and it's really well done. You know, like I said,
I'm all about that.
Yeah, I heard about the movie and I thought, I'm gonna hate that. That's stupid. I don't want to see it. I was acting like I was 12 or something. But I mean, it's really well done. It's good stuff.
Yeah. What do you think, Eve? Go ahead.
Well, like I said, I really liked it. I was gonna ask, is that Bradley Cooper's actual singing voice?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's and imagine how much pressure that would be for someone that probably doesn't sing a whole lot to sing with Lady Gaga. That would be very intimidating.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've only seen one other movie where the actors or most of the actors actually learned to play the instruments and sing, and I believe it was Almost Famous. Maybe not the vocals. I don't think the vocals. I think somebody else did the vocals, but they performed all those songs live in that movie.
Cool.
Right on. Well, I'm excited to see this cover because whenever somebody titles it like the most epic cover of it, I guess best shallow duet. Okay, and it's just all caps too. So I guess that's why the kind of shouting it at you. These they look pretty young.
Yeah. Well, let me preface.
Please,
Sherlock.
yes, introduce Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. So Allie is performer in the UK, and apparently, as commenters let me know, her dad is really behind pushing her, and so the click on me value of the titles. A lot of her titles are like that, like, oh my God, you won't believe his voice, things like that. I had Allie suggested to me, and I usually ignore suggestions because I try to make them follow my own path. But I clicked on it and I heard her and was kind of disappointed. But when the guy with her, and this was a different song, started to sing, I was like, okay, I need to stop this because I need to react to it right now. And some really thoughtful person left me a very heartwarming comment about how I hate YouTubers that say it's the first time reacting. They're still full. It's like, dude, why would I say it's my first time if it wasn't my first time hearing her? So to be clear, this is my second time hearing Allie Sherlock. Now, for me personally, and people might hate on me, I don't like her voice. It sounds like Adele to me.
Ooh.
I'll let you two decide if you have that reaction or not. To me, what got me and why I suggested this video is this guy, Jacob. His voice, I heard it, I was like, stupefied. And I don't get stupefied too often doing these things. Usually I'm Mr. Analytical Robot, as people are calling me in the comments on other things. So there is, I know it's like, somebody left me a comment like, well, I know who Kyle is, but the guy in the bottom is like a robot. I wonder if he's intimate, if he still acts like he has no emotions. I was like, actually, that's me at the bottom. I am Kyle. And yes, I do. I thought that was
it's so cool. Everybody in the family has their niche role, and it works really well. Like,
and drink my oil.
Yeah, I mean, we got Sarah's the one who's into the pretty new pop stuff, and Eve is into the dark metal stuff and prog metal, like crossover with me, and I'm into pretty much progressive everything, and you're Mr. Analytical, and Jennifer is Miss Classical. There's new ways to support this channel. Please, you can support Matthew's Music Lesson Studio right now. You can join the family at patreon.com/Matthew's Music Lesson Studio. If you wanna do it and get me the most money, you can go to liberapay.com/Matthew's Music. But if you're not into commitments, because Libera pays weekly, Patreon's monthly, you can just buy me a coffee right now. Buymeacoffee.com. I love coffee. Even a partial coffee is great. You can just $1, anything, /Matthew's Music. And of course, Venmo too. You can send me a tip at Matthew's Music. If you appreciate this, if you like the show, support us, because I tell you what, we need it. You can also super chat, do all the chats at the end, and you can skip the line by sending your super chats right now. Okay, guys, so without further ado, the best shallow duet ever with Jacob Koopman, Shallow, from A Star Is Born, Allie Sherlock. Here we go!
Something, girl.
modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. Off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. We're far from the shallow now. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci
Okay.
beaucoup.
No, I'm not French.
Let me just say something.
Yeah.
about
Do you want to take a quick break?
that. I was more of a fan of the original. That I feel like she took the soul out of it.
I have a lot to say about this. And I want to be very careful about how I approach this. Okay? Because I am a singer-songwriter performer, and I'm a music teacher. And I'm a voice coach, specifically. And I don't want to come across sounding like, oh, yeah, I think I'm better than her or something. Because that's not at all it. I think this girl has a very, very good voice and a lot of potential. However, she needs training. Okay? Now, if you intended that cover to be like as if Adele was doing it, then they titled it wrong. Like, what if Adele did the, the duet with somebody that was trying to sound like Bradley Cooper? I don't know. I don't think it was. I'm sure there's a better cover of that somewhere. I'm sorry. My first impression, the guitar was a little tiny little bit out of tune. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be picky, but God darn it. Gosh darn it. If it was me, I would have tuned the guitar first before
Grab
that.
that E string.
That first chord, I would have hit that chord, and I would have I would have done like some sort of a little vocal, like something. I would have started just talking, go off into a tangent for 3 seconds while I fix those 1 or 2 strings, and then first of all, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. Second of all, The guy had a good voice. I liked his voice. The girl had a good voice. I think both of them were young, and both of them have a lot of potential. The guy was rushing. Like I was talking about how I would rush. I would be hard not to rush. He was rushing, and the song was not as slow and tender as it should have been. And so I think that damaged. So I think that Jacob rushing a little bit made it hard for Allie to be really expressive. But the way that Allie was like singing almost with like an Adele tone rather than a Lady Gaga tone, which are arguably somewhat similar. Arguably a little bit. Like
I think
Arguably.
Lady Gaga's.
it's different. They both have
Lady
opera
Gaga
background,
has-
right?
Lady Gaga is more breathy, and Adele's more.
She's more throaty.
Full.
Yeah.
Full chested. I guess.
Right.
Throaty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deeper.
There it is.
Deeper, like fuller. Adele is more of a fuller belt, right? And Lady Gaga is more of that Madonna / with a little bit more rock edge
Yeah.
belt, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, none of them compare to Floor, but that's my own thing. I'm just a floor head. And she was like in her phone. Like that was one other thing. And this is hard because I read charts and stuff too. So, I understand. I'm being self-critical at the same time. This is reminding me that when I'm performing not to be too in my because I kept noticing she was like constantly scrolling on her phone. I don't know if she had some teeny little display. It only showed like 3 or 4 lines of the song at a time or whatever. But I don't know. It just made me feel like she was somewhat distracted. So like I said, I had a lot to say about that. And I think that they're both very talented. I think they both have an incredible amount of potential. And I don't think that I'm better than either of them. I think that I could coach both of them to help them to be incredible and become way better than me.
I just felt like it was. I mean, yeah, they definitely, have some potential, but I did feel like I was kind of at amateur hour, and it didn't grab me. I guess because of that, like the guitar being out of tune, like Matt mentioned, that as soon as I noticed that, I was like, oh. It just made me kind of cringe, even if it's a little bit out of tune. And then like just I don't know that. Yeah, like the original. I don't know. Lady Gaga started out like soft in the original, which I thought that was kind of cool, and then she got all enthused and started belting. I mean that for me put some heart and soul, the original, I mean. But she just started off full bore and just went for it, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying I could teach her, because like what I'm really good at is listening to a singer and figuring out, okay, what are they doing? How are they making this particular tone for this particular song? And you don't ever want to and like any really, really great singer can sing every song with its own unique timbre. And so that's why we can debate back and forth as to who's really, really great. Because some singers that people in general hold up as really great, they sing every song with pretty much the same timbre. And to me, that doesn't make the cut. Okay? No offense. To me, to be really great, you got to be able to sing each song differently for that song so that the performance is unique to that song.
Yeah.
And that's what I strive to do. Even though maybe I'm not as good of a singer as some of these people, I always try to sing every song in its own unique way so that it has its own character.
No, I was going to say, Matt, you have your own range too. So you know what you can and can't do.
I didn't think range was a problem for either of them on that song at all. Like that, not at all. Like that was not it. It's just.
Oh yeah, no.
They just need more training.
I'm just saying.
They're good. They were good,
Yeah.
and like a lot of people, that's how they get their training. They cut their teeth out there on the street. Filming on YouTube, and a lot of people don't have the guts to say the things that I'm saying. And that's why I'm trying to make sure I preface this with, I don't think I'm better. They're, I respect them. I think they're really awesome. They're good. They're just young and they need seasoning.
There's nothing wrong with being a little harsh. I know
I'm not a Simon Cowell type. I'm more the Fuzzy Bear type,
What's up, dog?
I'm probably the Simon Cowell on the panel.
There you go. That's cool. Well, we need that. We need that. But, since I'm the host, right, I'm more like the Tom Bergeron, right? Everybody's got to love me. Or Jack Black, I guess, is more my energy than Tom Bergeron. But
of course, his guitar was out of tune. But what caught
me terribly, just noticeably.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what I thought was good is both of them sang on pitch, completely ignoring the out of tune guitar. That was a good sign.
I didn't hear tuning issues in the vocals. The vocals sounded in tune.
Oh yeah. Whenever she started to sing, I noticed, and it might be because I just heard some Billie Eilish earlier today, a little Billie Eilish inflection, and maybe it's because Eilish and Adele, there's that influence connection there too. I don't know. To me, like when she started, it could be the lower register, or the way I guess the like more of a chest register, the way she started singing made me think of that. But I always think of going to open mics and you hear, hey, this is someone's first time singing in front of people, and they get up and they're nervous, and then they sound like Adele, which is like almost every indie kind of singer. It's like, get your own voice. It's like, use what you're given. You don't need to sound like Adele.
If you're covering an Adele song, it makes sense to use those inflections. And
if you want to impersonate Adele,
right,
covering Adele,
exactly. If that's your goal,
right. So
cool, right on. I liked it though. Good pick. And I have to give it to Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, because they are freaking epic on that. We got new ways to support the channel: exclusive weekly bonus content on Patreon, patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. We've got liberapay.com/Matthews Music, where you can donate weekly, and it's a non-profit, so I get the most money there as far as them taking no fees. Definitely, you can buy me a coffee right now. Buymeacoffee.com/Matthews Music. And also Venmo. Send me a tip on Venmo at Matthews Music. I really appreciate you guys. And go ahead and please right subscribe to all these guys' channels. Subscribe to Eve's channel. Subscribe to Kyle's channel. Make sure you mash that like button. Okay.
Hey, here's an idea too, thinking about what you said earlier. People use Spotify. Look us all up on Spotify, make a playlist.
Yeah.
You talked about Kilometro One. Help musicians out, because you get handful of people, a couple handfuls of people that do that a few times a week. That does start to help after a while.